Muslim youth have responsibilities towards not only themselves, not only towards Allah, not only towards their families, but towards the entire Muslim Ummah?
I believe the Muslim youth are a segment, are a fundamental segment. They're basically the majority now, the majority segment of the Muslim Ummah. And as a Muslim individual, you have an obligation to serve the Ummah at large. Islam, by definition, is bigger than you working individually. You cannot work and say, I do my prayers, I read my Quran, and that's it, I'm done. يَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. You call for what is good and you stop what is evil. That's one of the obligations. كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ. You are the best of nations that were sent out to the people. You believed in God, believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you ordered for what is good and you forbade what is bad. That's one of the main characteristics of this ummah, is that they pass their individualism. It's a collective effort. We look out for each other. The Prophet ﷺ said that the Muslims together are like a comb. And there are many, many examples of a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ talks about how the whole ummah is one body. And if one part of it feels pain, then the whole body stays the night up feeling that pain. All of this collectively is not just an obligation for the youth, it's for the whole ummah in general, but specifically for the youth, because they are the power of the ummah. They're the ones that have the ability. The children, which are below the youth, still not mature enough. Above youth, the older generation, they've been worn out. They've done their dues, they've paid their dues. Now is time for them maybe to give advice, to guide, to help out, but it's the burden of the youth to carry the ummah and to carry it forward. Just like the first generation of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. We can look at the youth. Most of the group that was around the Prophet ﷺ, especially in the beginning, were youth. Youth, we're talking about from 10 years old, Ali ibn Abi Talib, to around 18, 19, 20, maybe 30 years old. This was the core, this was the heart of the whole Islamic movement from the beginning, revolved around the Prophet ﷺ, who was 40, with the guidance, of course, guided by al-Wahy, by the divine source. And the youth, the power came from Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, came from, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, Al-Qaqa ibn Amr, Mus'ab ibn Umayr, Ali ibn Abi Talib. These were the power forces in the ummah at that time. They
were doing great things. They weren't just like doing kind of like secondary roles. They were like pivotal in the change and in the growing of the Muslim ummah.
Of course, they were the heart of the ummah. And when you look at something like Al-Arqam, which is the house that the Prophet ﷺ, in the beginning of the da'wah, when it was secretive, they would stay in Dar al-Arqam, the house of Al-Arqam. Al-Arqam, this Arqam, when you read the stories, you feel like somebody's around 40, 50, but in
that's
reality,
what I used to think,
but he's not. Al-Arqam is very young. Al-Arqam was around 14, 15, 16 years old. And he took up the responsibility of the ummah, and he decided to put his life at risk, because the Muslims would gather in his house, recite the Quran. All of the teachings came from that household. The first place where the message was sent out was from Dar al-Arqam, 16-year-old.
Even though it was a very dangerous effort, because like the kuffar, if they knew this place and they knew what it's been used for, they would definitely attack it and not leave it.
Definitely. And you see Ali ibn Abi Talib, another example. Ali ibn Talib, radiallahu anhu, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him. He literally gave away his life. He lay on the bed, willing to die and to sacrifice his life so that the Prophet ﷺ could do the hijrah. He lay down, and he knew that the kuffar were coming in to kill him. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved his life with the miracle when the Prophet ﷺ threw the dust and it sent the kuffar to sleep, and he was saved. But the idea was that they were willing to sacrifice. And as you were saying, they weren't just people who came along, they were leaders. When we look at Usama ibn Zayd radiallahu anhu, he led an army which had Abu Bakr and Umar in it. These are the two most important people after the Prophet ﷺ in the ummah, were underneath him in an army. They did not say, he's a small child, he's 18 years old, we don't go under him. The Prophet ﷺ told them that they would be under his guidance. This is one of the things that the Prophet ﷺ emphasized a lot throughout his life, is that we do not judge people by their age. We judge people by their value. A 16-year-old can lead an army. Why not? If he has the skills, he has the tools. We need to give them responsibility. We need to rely on all of their passion, the youthful passion. Because if we don't put it in the right avenues, they're going to look for something else. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ knew this. That's why he would give them important leading roles to fulfill this passion and this need for involvement through ways which were beneficial to both them and to the Ummah at large.
Jazakallah khair.
Huda TV's social media sites are the best way to contact us from anywhere around the world. Stay connected with Huda TV's latest news and programs through Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Skype, and Instagram. It's fast and easy. Stay up to date with your favorite shows and scholars today. Huda TV, a light in every home.